Chapter 222. Su Yiyen wasn't the only one who was dumbfounded. The new employees behind her were also dumbfounded. What kind of live stream room was their big boss doing? Why were there so many people asking her for help? Help? What life? Whose life? The bald party begs the host to save this baby. The auntie party begs the host to love me again. The insomniac party seconded. Host, look at me. I'm begging for a child. My husband and I really want a child of our own. Please help. Su Yiyen looked at the screen full of people who were begging for help in surprise. She blinked and asked in confusion, "What's going on? I didn't see you guys so anxious before." Host, you didn't disappear for such a long time before. Host, you're no longer the diligent little cutie who took the time to live stream for us no matter how busy she was. Tell us honestly, where have you been all this time? Was she abducted by someone? Do you still need to ask? The host must have been kidnapped by her husband. He. Su Yiyen's mouth twitched slightly. She sighed and said, "That's not it. I've been really busy recently." We know. You guys are busy spending time with each other. He. Su Yiyen was speechless. They didn't even have a chance to see each other now. How could they spend time with each other? Fortunately, the audience soon noticed the background of the live stream behind her. Is the host in some home's kitchen? Why does it look different from the previous one? It does look a little different. However, I've confirmed it with my eyes. No matter which one it is, I can't afford it. The host seemed to have said before that she wasn't short of money. She probably started the live stream out of interest or simply wanted to promote those Chinese herbs. Seeing that the audience's topic was starting to deviate to her real life, Su Yiyen hurriedly coughed to draw everyone's attention back. This is actually the reason why I haven't been live streaming recently. Su Yiyen picked up the live stream equipment and turned the camera around so that it could capture some details in the kitchen. However, she made sure that she and the people not far away were not in the camera. This is the small kitchen in my new store. It was recently renovated. Today is the first time it's being used after the renovation. As soon as Su Yiyen said this, the bullet screen froze for a second or two. New shop. Is it what I think it means? The streamer is going to open a physical store. Doesn't that mean that we can eat the host's medicinal cuisine in real life? We don't have to stare at the lucky draw anymore. Really? Where is it? Ah, my baldness can be saved. Then does that mean my period can be cured too? And my insomnia? Mine, isn't the main point that if the streamer really opens a physical store, we can go to the store and see the streamer's real face? Upstairs, you're really smart. Even if it weren't for the medicinal cuisine, would still go to the shop to watch the streamer. I'm going. Yes. I also want to watch the streamer. The streamer's hands are so beautiful and her voice is so pleasant. She must be a great beauty in real life. Come on, let's team up and play with the streamer, let's go. Team +1, team +2, the bullet screen was filled with joy. Su Yiyen stared at the bullet screen that said they wanted to watch her and shook her head regretfully. Chapter 223. She had already planned to install a scanning device at the door as soon as the store opened and send the customer's image data to her computer. She only needed to look at the computer in the small room to know their physical condition and prepare the appropriate amount of medicinal cuisine for them. She didn't need to meet them face to face. Su Yiyen felt that she was really clever. She smiled faintly and said, "I do have the idea of opening a physical store." During the last live broadcast, I saw someone talking about the problem of Chinese medicine being difficult to popularize. After the broadcast, I thought about it and felt that it wasn't an easy problem to solve. After thinking about it, I simply found a store and opened a physical store, a medicinal cuisine store that can't be found anywhere else. The host is really rich. She can talk about opening a store so casually. It's like eating. I have an inexplicable hatred for the rich. However, I still want to say something. Well done. Please open a few more stores and save the children. Am I the only one who is more concerned about the price? The Chinese medicine in the host's hands is grown from extinct plants. You can't buy it even if you have the money. The price. The students are a little worried. You can rest assured about the price. It's not much different from the food sold in high-end restaurants. It's still possible to occasionally consume it once a month. This was also the price that Su Yiyan gave after considering it. Although she didn't open the store for profit, the basic cost and employee's salary still had to be taken into account. She didn't want to seek a huge profit, but she couldn't let herself suffer too much. Just like what the audience said, the things in her hands were now unique. If she really wanted to sell them for profit, many rich people would pay a high price. After all, everyone had 3 disasters and 6 diseases and was afraid of death. The audience obviously thought so too. They thought that they would get a sky-high price, but it turned out to be similar to the food in high-end restaurants. Although the food in high-end restaurants was expensive, those dishes weren't as magical as the host's. They could still bear the pain and try it occasionally. Thinking about it this way, some people seem to have expectations for life. Work hard to make money, go. The location of the store is in City A. I will write the specific address directly on the private page of the live broadcast room. The official opening date is tentatively set 3 days later at 9 o'clock. On the opening day, the store will have a 20% discount. In addition, due to my limited ability and the limited materials I have on hand, in the early stages of opening the store, I don't support selling outside the city or even within the city. You can only spend in the store. As soon as Su Yiyan's words came out, the viewers in the live streaming room were instantly filled with grief. F***CK, City A? Is the host from a city? City A is so far away from me. It's very far from here, and it's not even available outside the same city, let alone in other cities. Will I never be able to eat the host's medicinal cuisine in this lifetime? I'm in A. In the city, there were no classes in 3 days. I'll go to the streamer's shop to taste the medicinal cuisine on your behalf. I'll also help you meet the streamer. Not in A. The people in the city felt that they had missed out on 100 million yuan. They were crying miserably. On the other hand, the people in the city rubbed their palms as if they had been injected with chicken blood. They were waiting for the opening day of Su Yiyan's new shop. Chapter 224. This rule was very capricious. If it were in an ordinary restaurant, this rule alone would be enough to dissuade 70 to 80% of the customers. However, in this live stream room, although the bullet comments went blank for a few seconds, when the audience reacted, they didn't reject it as expected. I know. The host has repeatedly emphasized that the medicinal cuisine is like food, but it's still medicine. You can eat whatever you want, but you can't eat medicine. The host is being responsible for us. I believe in the host. The dishes in the host's previous live stream room are super delicious. I like all of them. Just give me a portion and I'll eat it to my heart's content. I'm very easy to raise. Obediently waiting. JPG, compared to this, I'm more concerned about whether the medicinal cuisine in the host's new shop is the same as the ones that appeared in the host's live stream room. After the store opens, will the host still draw prizes in the future? Seeing that the audience adapted well, Su Yiyan heaved a sigh of relief. Yes, the medicinal cuisine in the store is the same as the ones that appeared in my previous live stream room. New menus will be added one after another. I'll also keep the prizes. Every time a new medicinal cuisine is released, I'll live stream it and draw prizes. The lucky viewers who won the previous lottery will be able to make a medicinal cuisine exclusive to them. The prizes will be given out after the next live stream. As soon as Su Yiyan finished speaking, the screen was filled with, "Oh yeah. Hooray." Su Yiyan couldn't help but laugh. Okay, let's stop talking about the new shop. Now, let's get back to business and start today's live stream. Although the renovation of the shop had just been completed a few days ago, some necessary ingredients and herbs had been sent in a batch. It was also Su Yan's intention to take advantage of these few days to select a few people who had some talent in this field to help her. She had asked someone to arrange it in advance. Su Yan first took out Euchomia ulmoides, mulberry parasite, wolfberry, ginseng, amomum, tremella, and other herbs from the herb wall behind him. Then, he took out a processed black-boned chicken and pork belly. Today, I'll be making amomum, tremella, and pork belly soup and Euchomia black-boned chicken soup. These two soups are employee benefits and won't be used for the prizes. Employee benefits? That's right. Not only do our employees have the right to try the new dishes first, but they also have the right to receive their personal medicinal cuisine for free. Su Yan's words caused the viewers in the live streaming room to hold their breaths for a few seconds. Soon after, the screen was flooded with comments. F***CK, does the streamer's shop still lack employees? He just graduated from university and knows how to weld. Is it too late for me to resign and apply for a job in the streamer's shop? Woo woo woo, jealousy makes me ugly. Jealousy makes me cry. Jealousy separates me from my body. Previously, the viewers in the live stream room were still envious of the people in a city who were close to Su Yan. Now, they were envious of the employees in Su Yan's shop. Yu Zian, who was watching the live stream and paying close attention to the future lady boss, couldn't help but narrow his eyes when he heard this. He was so envious that his eyes turned red. Oh my God, were the employee benefits in young madam's shop so good? Was it too late for him to jump ship now? No, 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 it's too late for that. Chapter 225. Hu Chenhuan would never have thought that his loyal subordinate, who always placed him first in everything, would one day secretly plan how to use his name to cheat his fiancée of food and drink. The interns, who had been envied and hated even before they officially started working, finally realized how powerful their big boss was. Especially after the two soups were boiling and the aroma wafted out. This group of people began to unconsciously steal glances at Su Yan. A few of them with weaker concentration even began to sniff unconsciously. The stewing time was a little long. Taking advantage of this time, Su Yan simply made some crystal buns and small wontons. The crystal buns that had just come out of the oven had become beautiful and transparent. As soon as the steamer was opened, the overbearing aroma rushed out along with the white smoke, filling the entire kitchen and the live broadcast room. After the small wontons were cooked in the pot, they were sprinkled with a series of seasonings such as green onions and celery. When the fire was boiling, the aroma was so fragrant that it made people forget to leave. Su Yan left a steamer of crystal buns and 2 small bowls of wontons for the audience in the live broadcast room to try and draw a prize later. As for the rest, Li Jingwen, the student-looking young man who had first asked about the rules of Su Yan's restaurant, took them out and distributed them to the others. More than a dozen employees were already hungry from the aroma of these things. As soon as they saw Li Jingwen come over, they immediately rushed up and grabbed a few buns each and couldn't wait to eat. The crystal buns made by Su Yan combined the characteristics of soup dumplings. Not only were the skin thin, but the soup inside was also enough. A few male employees were more impatient. They didn't know that there was soup inside. They bit into the bun one by one. It was so hot that they couldn't help but gasp, but they couldn't bear to spit it out. They could only endure the pain and slowly chew and swallow. A few girls learned their lesson. They carefully bit the edges of the bun, sucked the soup inside, and ate the small bun in a mouthful. That taste was indescribably enjoyable. After eating the bun, they drank a bowl of hot wontons. The soup was fresh and delicious, and the stuffing was sufficient. One bite at a time, it was warm and delicious. Among these people, except for Li Jingwen who went out of the camera to get something, the others didn't show up. Even so, their sighs when they tasted the food still reached the ears of the audience in the live broadcast room intermittently. All of a sudden, they felt that the 2 small bowls in front of them were no longer fragrant, and their hearts felt even more stifled. Even if he turned on the taste and smell simulator, a fake would always be a fake. He would never be able to achieve the satisfaction of actually eating something in his mouth. At this moment, everyone whose fighting spirit had been aroused by the delicious food made up their minds simultaneously. No matter how far away they were, or how busy they were with work, they had to go to Su Yiyen's shop to try out their products. After Su Yiyen gave away the remaining crystal buns and wontons, the two soups were almost ready. Su Yiyen turned off the live stream under the pressure of the viewers urging her to stay. She then scooped out 2 bowls of soup and placed them in front of the 2 people. Let's try it. It should taste all right. It was more than okay. The audience, who had a certain understanding of Su Yiyen's cooking through the crystal buns and wontons, stared at the 2 bowls of soup in front of the 2 people. Their burning gazes were about to burn the 2 people involved. Not long ago, they were secretly glad that they hadn't been chosen to be the model. Now, their intestines were about to turn green with regret. Why hadn't they been chosen just now? Chapter 226. Xin Hanliang and Cheng Yishuan held the soup in front of them with trembling hands. They could feel the envious and jealous gazes of the people around them. However, the billowing fragrance that kept entering their nostrils tightly grabbed their attention like a silk thread, making them unable to care about anything else. The 2 of them had just taken a sip when the other dozen people rushed to the table and asked with burning eyes, "How is it? How is it? What's the taste? Is it good?" The 2 of them showed a look of enjoyment at the same time and said cheerfully, "It's super delicious." After that, they learned by themselves. Without the urging of the people around them, they spontaneously talked about their feelings after drinking it. The black chicken soup is sweet with a hint of sweetness. It's stewed until it's soft, so it's super fragrant. The pork tripe soup doesn't have the smell of internal organs at all. It's soft and crisp, and the taste is super good. After the 2 of them finished speaking, they couldn't help but recall the taste and almost drooled. They didn't care that there were so many people staring at them and buried their heads in drinking. There were a few people who had a good relationship with the 2 of them. They couldn't help but beg, "Give me a sip, just a sip. For the sake of our good relationship." Xin Hanliang and Cheng Yishuan were stunned. They subconsciously held their bowls tightly, but they couldn't refuse too directly. They could only look at Su Yiyen for help. Su Yiyen received their pitiful gazes and said with amusement, okay, don't crowd around them. This is specially made for them. It's suitable for their physical condition. They can't eat it carelessly. If you really want to drink it, don't worry. After all, this is an employee benefit." When they heard the first half of Su Yiyen's words, they were a little disappointed, but when they heard the second half, they became energetic again. Yes, this is an employee benefit. As long as they are employees of the restaurant, they can enjoy this treatment. Understanding this, many people's eyes lit up, and the gazes they looked at Su Yiyen with became extremely hot. Su Yiyen smiled slightly when he saw this. He knew that his goal had been achieved. If you want people to work for you wholeheartedly, friendship is one thing, but benefits are another. If it was just a pie in the sky, no matter how much affection there would be a day when it would be exhausted. Giving some practical benefits at an appropriate time would give people hope. What's your answer? Would you like to work in my shop? Everyone looked at each other. We're willing. That's good. This is our employee contract. The salary requirements are written on it. In the future, I will appoint a team leader for the front and back kitchen. As for the specifics, it will depend on your learning progress and performance in the next few days. I've already mentioned a few things that you need to pay attention to. What's left is confidentiality. Keep it secret. That's right. You saw it just now. I'm a live streamer, and I haven't shown my face on the internet yet. I didn't plan to do that after opening the shop, so I hope you can help me keep it a secret. Don't let anyone know that I'm the real owner of this shop. This is also the reason why I chose to recruit from my own family instead of recruiting publicly. Understood. We'll help you keep this a secret. We won't let anyone know your identity. Chapter 227. Naturally, no one objected to this. It was already a great privilege for them to be able to enjoy it for free. If they were to take it out without the owner's permission, what was the difference between that and theft? Su Yiyen was quite satisfied with their cooperative attitude and signed a contract with all of them on the spot. Considering the problem of time, Su Yiyen first taught them some simpler stews. The problem of the dosage was not difficult to solve. There was a smart weighing machine in the kitchen that was accurate to 4 digits. When the time came, she only needed to give them the approximate dosage, and they would weigh it themselves. Of course, cooking still required a little talent in the end. People who used the same recipe would eventually make some dishes that were good and some that were not. Su Yiyen spent half a day to roughly divide the kitchen staff and the front shop staff. After that, she let them familiarize themselves with the work in the shop. When everything was settled, it was already close to evening when she came out of the shop. Just as she got into the car, Su Yiyen received a video call request from Hu Chenhuan. Why are you calling me at this time? Did you miss me? As soon as the call connected, Hu Chenhuan saw Su Yiyen's cheerful smile. The corners of her lips curled up slightly, and she said honestly, yes, I missed you. Bear with it for a few more days. We'll be getting married in a few days. Okay. Hu Chenhuan looked at the person in front of her with a smile. Soon, she noticed the fatigue between her eyebrows and frowned slightly. Are you tired? It's okay. There are a lot of things to do today. Hu Chenhuan seemed to have thought of something when she heard that. She deliberated and said, I heard that you opened a restaurant. Su Yiyen was not surprised that Hu Chenhuan knew about it. Yes, it's a medicinal cuisine restaurant. It will open in 3 days. Then I'll get someone to send you flowers. There will be flowers all over the street. Su Yiyen was startled, but she quickly realized that Hu Chenhuan wanted to declare her sovereignty, so she did not refuse. Okay, then I'll wait and see. I also heard that the employee benefits in your restaurant are very good. They can try the dishes you make for free. That's true. I also heard that the family members of the employees in your shop also receive corresponding benefits. That's right. Family members also have the benefit of priority trial, but they have to pay for it. However, there's a discount. It's based on the distance between relatives. Then, am I considered an employee's family? Su Yiyen was stunned. She finally understood what Hu Chenhuan was trying to say by beating around the bush. She smiled and teased, you don't count. Hu Chenhuan's expression changed slightly, and her eyes darkened. But right after that, he heard Su Yiyen say, you're the boss's wife, a member of this shop. You don't take up a family spot. Lady boss? That's right. I'm the boss, and you're my partner. Doesn't that make you the boss's wife? Hu Chenhuan. That makes sense. I actually have nothing to say to that. Also, you usually eat the medicinal cuisine I make for you. Did I ask you to pay for it? Hu Chenhuan. Her words made him feel like he was living off his wife, even though he was not against living off her. But when it comes to the family members of the employees, your employees can be counted. If it's Hu Xiaofeng's family, then forget about it. I'm already kind enough not to blacklist them. Chapter 228. Su Yiyen suddenly thought of that family, so he said that casually. He didn't want to continue talking about them, which would ruin his mood. So he took the initiative to change the topic. Is Dun Dun still causing trouble recently? Su Yiyen had been busy recently, so he rarely went to Hu Chenhuan's place, not to mention taking Dun Dun out to meet the love of his dreams. The long-term unrequited love made this little guy a little autistic recently. It was not even willing to talk to its master, who used to be its second love. It'll be fine after we get married. Su Yiyen also smiled, yes, it'll be fine after we get married. Dun Dun was with Hu Chenhuan. Whether it was Hu Chenhuan taking Dun Dun to Hua Hua or Ling Xiaoqi taking Hua Hua to Dun Dun, it was not appropriate. They could only wrong Dun Dun and solve this problem after they got married. Wait, I'll come to you on the colorful auspicious clouds soon. Hu Chenhuan was amused by her words and responded with satisfaction, okay, I'll wait for you. As soon as the two ended the call, Hu Chenhuan sent a message to the three of them. He asked them to bring the company's employees to support Su Yiyan in 3 days in the name of the boss's family. When Gu Xiaoyang and the others first received the message, they almost thought that they were blind. It was fine to support, but what the hell was the boss's family? Before they could figure out the key point, Hu Chenhuan had already repeated what his wife said to the three of them. He hid the part about the boss's wife and changed it to the boss's partner. After listening to the story, the three of them looked indifferent. Their boss's tone was just short of telling everyone frankly. The reason why you can get the privilege is that my wife opened the back door for you. My wife is really beautiful and kind. Why don't you hurry up and kowtow to thank her? So what if you have a wife? Just because he had a wife, he could show off his love and abuse single dogs without any scruples. But in fact, having a wife was amazing. Having a beautiful, sensible, and capable wife was even more amazing. Yu Zian silently ridiculed his boss for being crazy in his heart, then turned around and happily ran to the technical department to share this great news with the bitter Baldies. When Su Yiyan announced that he would open a physical store to sell medicinal cuisine in City A, these people began to poke at their immediate superior. There were all kinds of explicit hints, and some even rolled around and acted shamelessly, begging him to tell the boss to open a back door for them. Today, however, not only did they open the back door, but they also inexplicably became family members. This group of people suddenly went crazy with joy. Their cheers almost lifted the roof of the company. Each of them could not wait for the arrival of the opening day. Su Yiyan and Hu Chenhuan's wedding would be held in less than a week, so they were in a hurry, but no one wanted to make Su Yiyan feel wronged. The invitations had been sent out as early as a month ago, and other things had been prepared one after another. When Su Yiyan returned home, Qing Xiuqin and Qin Shueru were busy confirming the wedding dress and formal attire that Su Yiyan would wear that day. When they saw that the main character had returned, their eyes lit up. Yan Yan is back. Come over and take a look. The wedding dress and formal attire that we ordered before are all here. Try it on and see if there's anything wrong with it. Take advantage of these few days to ask them to change it. Qin Shueru was holding a wedding dress in her hand. She got up and walked in the direction of Su Yiyan. Chapter 229. Qin Shueru quickly noticed Su Yiyan's strange behavior. She frowned and asked with concern, "What's wrong? Did something happen?" Su Yiyan seemed to have woken up from a dream. He said anxiously, "Auntie, can you give me your hand?" Hand? Qin Shueru was confused, but she did as she was told. Su Yiyan felt her pulse for a while, and the uncertainty in his eyes was gradually replaced by pure excitement. "What's wrong? Yan Yan, why are you grabbing your auntie's hand?" "I'm taking my auntie's pulse." "Taking your pulse?" Qing Xiuqin frowned. "What's taking your pulse?" "Taking your pulse means checking your body's condition by feeling the pulse on your wrist." Qin Shueru and Qing Xiuqin were shocked when they heard Su Yiyan's words. In this era, most Chinese herbs were extinct. Naturally, Chinese medicine only existed in scientific literature, and very few people knew about it. Hearing Su Yiyan's explanation, the two of them, who were used to using all kinds of advanced medical equipment, were surprised and curious. Before they could ask more, Mr. Su and Qing Juanhao came down with old Master Cheng. Seeing the three of them together, he asked curiously, "What are you guys doing?" "Yan Yan is taking Shueru's pulse." Qing Xiuqin asked Su Yiyan subconsciously, "You said that you can know a person's condition by feeling their pulse. What did you find out for your auntie just now?" Su Yiyan chuckled and grinned from ear to ear. "I found a baby." "What baby?" "You're already so old, and you're still." Qing Xiuqin's complaint stopped abruptly, and the others were shocked too. Qin Shueru touched her stomach subconsciously, and her face was full of disbelief. Yan, you mean? Su Yan went forward and held her hand. He said with certainty, it's what you think. Auntie is pregnant. Uncle, you're going to be a father. At this moment, Qin Shueru's mind was completely blank. A pleasant surprise that came too suddenly would always make one afraid. This was just an illusion born from one's obsession. She grabbed Su Yan's hand as if she was grabbing onto a life-saving straw. She was unwilling to let go. Yan, is it true? I'm pregnant? Am I really pregnant? Qing Shuqin looked at Qin Shueru, who was so excited that she was about to cry on the spot. At the same time, he felt sorry for her, but he still couldn't believe that Su Yan could really feel a baby. If she didn't find out in the end, her sister-in-law would be disappointed to death. Yan, are you sure you're not mistaken? Your aunt, There's really no mistake. If you don't believe me, you can go to the hospital for a checkup now. It should be about 3 weeks. We should be able to detect it with the equipment. Yes. Qing Juanhao finally reacted and rushed to his wife's side. He pushed Su Yan away and hugged Qin Shueru's hand. He was so excited that he didn't know what to do. Let's go to the hospital. I'll take you to the hospital for a checkup now. Su Yan. He didn't want his niece anymore after having a baby. Men were indeed pigs. The two of them who were going to be parents were so happy that they were dizzy. Qing Shuqin and his wife were both expectant and nervous. Chapter 230. It was a joyous occasion for both families that Qin Shueru was pregnant. No one was willing to wait anxiously at home, so they rushed to the hospital in groups. During this time, young Master Su, who had finally finished his work, returned home to find that there was no warm food, no concerned greetings, and not even a single person at home. He was stunned for a few seconds before he remembered to call his sister. After finding out that Qin Shueru was pregnant, the whole family rushed to send her to the hospital for a checkup. Unwilling to be left behind, he rushed over as well. The detection equipment in the hospital was much more advanced than that of the 21st century where Wen Jingping lived. One only needed to scan the pregnant woman's stomach to show a 3D image of the baby. There was no need to worry about radiation, so it was very convenient. In less than 2 minutes, Qin Shueru walked out in Qing Juanhao's arms. They crowded around her and asked anxiously, "How is it? How is it? Are you really pregnant?" "Yes, I'm pregnant." After saying these words, Qin Shueru seemed to have finally returned to reality from a bizarre dream. She grabbed her husband's hand and confirmed again, "I'm pregnant. I'm really pregnant. Yes, we have a child. It's our child." After hearing Qing Juanhao's words, Qin Shueru couldn't hold it in anymore. She hugged his shoulders tightly and burst into tears. Qing Juanhao's eyes were also filled with tears. Although he said that he didn't care, who wouldn't want to have a child with the person they loved? When they grew old together and passed away one after another, there would still be one person left in this world to witness their past love. However, between having a child and having a lover, he still cared more about his lover. Now that he realized that he didn't have to make a choice and had the best of both worlds, how could he not be happy? That's great. Qing Shuqin's eyes turned red when she saw the two of them like this. She kept patting her husband's shoulders to express her joy. Mr. Su was speechless. Who exactly did his wife learn to hit people whenever she was happy? Forget it, it was such a joyous occasion. If I get hit, so be it. Grandpa Cheng was also very happy. However, when his daughter-in-law was pregnant, the first person he thought of was his precious granddaughter. From the looks of it, the nourishing soup Yan made for you guys all this time wasn't wasted. Hearing this, Qin Shueru finally woke up from her huge surprise. She threw away her husband's hand, which was tightly holding onto Su Yan's. Yes. It's all thanks to Yan. Thank you. Qing Juanhao, who was thrown away after being used by his wife. Wasn't this the legendary Karma? No one knew the condition of her body better than Chin Shueru. Since 5 years ago, a doctor had tactfully told her that it would be difficult for her to conceive a child with her body condition. In the past few years, as she grew older, this difficulty had been increasing. She did not expect that she would be pregnant in less than a month after arriving at the Su family. Her father-in-law and husband had sent her to the Su family to recuperate in advance. It was the best decision they had made in their lives. "We're family, why are you being so courteous? I've always been the youngest in the family, and I've always wanted a younger brother or sister. Now that you're finally pregnant, I should thank you for fulfilling my wish." Chapter 231. After being comforted by the two of them, Chin Shueru finally regained control of her emotions. She reached out to touch her stomach, which was still unnoticeable. Although she didn't have any real feelings for this huge surprise, she knew that there was a little life living inside, a little life that she had always dreamed of. Seeing that he was about to become invisible before the child was born, Ching Junhao silently tugged at his wife's sleeve and said aggrievedly, "Yan Yan took all the credit, but I also contributed a little." His expression almost said, "Without me, you wouldn't have been able to give birth to the baby. Even if I didn't contribute, I still worked hard. Don't ignore me like this." Chin Shueru. She did not want her husband anymore. Whoever wanted him could take him away. The others were also a little confused by Ching Junhao's actions. After a while, Ching Xiuqin finally reacted and scolded with a smile, "Useless." Su Yiyan could not help but gloat. It turned out that it was not only love that would lower one's intelligence, but parents would as well. Chin Shueru was already considered to be in the advanced stages of pregnancy at her age. The others did not dare to let their guard down and gave her a full body checkup so that she could be nursed back to health. Su Yiyan had already nourished Chin Shueru with everything that he could during this period of time. Knowing that there was nothing wrong with her body, he did not stop them and followed them around the hospital. Halfway through the checkup, Su Yiyan's phone suddenly rang. Su Yiyan was surprised when he saw the caller ID. Taking advantage of the fact that everyone's attention was on Chin Shueru, he turned to a small corner and picked up the call. "What's wrong? I heard that you and Uncle went to the hospital. Did something happen?" Su Yiyan could hear the nervousness in Hua Chenhuan's voice. He smiled and said, "Don't be nervous. It's a good thing. My aunt is pregnant." Hua Chenhuan was slightly stunned. He had heard about Su Yiyan's aunt, but he did not expect her to suddenly be pregnant. "It's a good thing. Congratulate her on my behalf." "Yes." Chin Shueru's matter had undoubtedly reassured her, making her even more certain that she would be able to do what she had always wanted to do. "My aunt suddenly became pregnant after so many years because of me." Hua Chenhuan's eyes flashed as she replied softly, "Yes, I know. I can help her nurse her body back to health and conceive a child. One day, I can help you stand up again." Hua Chenhuan was stunned. The smile in her eyes slowly spread because of Su Yiyan's words. Finally, she said, "Okay, I'll wait." After a round of inspection, nothing happened. Everyone couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. On the way back, Ching Junhao even brought a tester home so that they could monitor the baby's condition at any time. Looking at the test report, "It's fine, but you're not young anymore. You still have to be more careful. Especially in the first few months, you have to be even more careful." Chin Shueru knew all this and replied softly, "Yes. I've just discussed with Junhao. You'll stay here for the next few months and let Yan Yan help you recuperate." Chin Shueru almost treated Su Yiyan as her little savior. Naturally, she hoped that she could stay, but Yan Yan will be married in a few days. Even if he's married, won't he return home? The moment Ching Xiuqin said this, everyone's eyes focused on Su Yiyan. Chapter 232. Ahem, I'll definitely go back home. Even if I don't go back every day, I'll stay in the same city. It'll be more convenient than staying in my hometown. Qing Shuqin snorted. Although he wasn't particularly satisfied with this answer, he didn't continue on this topic. Yan Yan is right. Isn't she going to open a medicinal cuisine restaurant soon? When the time comes, I'll ask her to send some home for you to nourish your body. It won't be difficult. Qing Shuqin's words reminded Qing Juanhao that before leaving the hospital, Qin Shueru had mentioned to him the effects of the soup that Su Yiyan had made for them in the past month. Qing Juanhao was extremely skeptical about this, but it was certain that his wife was pregnant. Could it be that his niece's medicinal cuisine was really that effective? My mom is right. Auntie, you should stay at home and wait until the baby is stable. Qing Juanhao was also worried about Qin Shueru's health. He frowned slightly and advised, since sister said so, you should stay for a while longer. I've also invested in Yin Yan's restaurant. Just treat it as helping me recoup some of my capital. Don't let me suffer a loss. Su Yiyan was both angry and amused when she heard this. Uncle, so that's what you're planning? Then it's over. If you want Auntie to recoup her capital, I'm afraid she'll have to recoup it for the rest of her life. Then help me raise your auntie for the rest of your life. While you're at it, you can raise your unborn brother and sister as well. Before Su Yiyan could say anything, Qing Shuqin had already slapped her. You wish. You can raise your own child. The car burst into laughter. After returning home, Qing Shuqin held Qin Shueru's arm and walked in front. Qing Juanhao deliberately lagged behind them and walked side by side with Su Yiyan. Yan Yan, can the food you made for us really increase a person's chances of getting pregnant? Your auntie and my baby. Su Yiyan knew what he wanted to ask. The corners of his lips curled up slightly, and he deliberately said mysteriously, if you think so, then so be it. If not, then so be it. The corners of Qing Juanhao's eyes twitched. He seriously suspected that she was still holding a grudge over what he had said just now. I think so. That's why I want to continue asking. What are the medicinal cuisines in your restaurant for? It's quite broad. Menstrual pain, baldness, insomnia, anorexia, and even Aunt's condition can be cured. Qing Juanhao's eyes lit up. Really? Believe it or not, it's up to you. Su Yiyan rolled her eyes, snorted arrogantly, and turned to leave, but was caught by Qing Juanhao. I do. I'm just a little surprised. When did you learn how to treat patients? It was still acceptable for him to learn how to cook from a cookbook, but could it be that he had also read the book to cure the disease? Not to mention, he had never even heard of her method of treating people. If you can learn how to cook from books, you can also learn how to treat illnesses. But now that you mention it, I do remember it. Uncle, can you help me get a proper doctor's license? After all, the medicinal cuisine restaurant was different from ordinary restaurants. She had already applied for a catering license. If she really wanted to treat some people in the future, without a doctor's license, she was afraid that she would get into some trouble. Su Yiyan's idea might seem like a groundless worry to others, but not long after, these people would realize that she was preparing for a rainy day. Chapter 233. This was not Wang Ran's first time doing a live broadcast in a physical restaurant. However, there were many rules in high-class restaurants, and most of them were unwilling to let anyone in for a live broadcast. He had been blocked at the door a few times. This time, he wanted to give it a try. As soon as he reached the door, he heard a low voice call out, "Sir." Wang Ran was shocked. He subconsciously tightened his grip on the live broadcast equipment in his hands and looked at the waiter who was walking toward him. You don't allow people to bring live broadcast equipment in? The waiter was stunned when he heard him say that. He smiled and said, We don't have such rules, but there are many people in the restaurant. I hope you can take care of your valuables after you enter. Also, try not to disturb other customers. The waiter's decent and polite attitude was somewhat amiable, which made it easy for people to have a good impression of him. Wang Ran and the audience in the live broadcast room were prepared to be blocked at the door and not be allowed to enter. When they heard his words, they could not react for a while. The service in this restaurant is good. It's not like the previous high-class restaurants where the waiter's eyes are almost on top of his head. It's fine if you don't let him in. Why do you look down on him and have such a bad attitude? It's also possible that they just opened not long ago and are relying on this to attract customers. After a long time, they might become like those high-class restaurants. However, this attitude is really good. I hope they can keep it up. He, doesn't anyone think that this waiter is quite handsome? Can the blogger help me get his contact information? Is it okay to openly climb the wall in front of the blogger? Although I really want to say that, this waiter's looks are really a little too good. I can do it. Elder sister can do it, younger sister can do it too. Me too. In just a short while, Wang Ran had witnessed his good-looking fans climbing the wall in his live broadcast room. The corners of his mouth twitched slightly. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. Okay, I'll be careful. The waiter seemed to be unaware of the rows of comments on the live broadcast room's equipment. He still maintained a decent smile on his face and said, "Okay then, please do a full body scan. After the scan, our store manager will give you a physical report and recommended medicinal cuisine. Please inform the customers in advance that our restaurant does not support self-service. Everything will be based on the results given by the store manager." I know about that. Before coming here, Wang Ran had seen the recording of Su Yiyan's live broadcast and knew about it. But knowing was one thing. When he really met him, he couldn't help but sigh. This boss's personality was really strange. Wasn't he afraid that no one would be willing to come? After cooperating with the waiter for a full body scan, Wang Ran was led to a relatively secluded corner of the store. As soon as he entered the shop, he and the viewers in his live stream channel were attracted by the luxurious decorations in the shop. The interior decoration of the restaurant was based on ancient gardens, courtyards, inns, and pavilions. The two-story storefront was connected by a wooden staircase, engraved with many patterns that they had never seen before. The ceiling was completely hollow and carved with all kinds of rare animals, plants, flowers, and birds. Chapter 234. This was not Wang Ran's first time doing a live broadcast in a physical restaurant. However, there were many rules in high-end restaurants, and most of them were not willing to let anyone in for a live broadcast. He had been blocked at the door a few times, and this time, he wanted to give it a try. Just as he walked to the door, he heard a low voice call out to him, "Sir." Wang Ran was shocked. He subconsciously tightened his grip on the live broadcast equipment in his hands and looked at the waiter who was walking toward him. "You guys, don't allow people to bring in live broadcast equipment?" The waiter was stunned when he heard him say that. He smiled and said, "We don't have such rules, but there are many people in the restaurant. I hope you can take care of your valuables after you enter. Also, try not to disturb other customers." The waiter's decent and polite attitude was somewhat amiable, making it easy for people to have a good impression of him. Wang Ran and the audience in the live broadcast room were prepared to be blocked at the door and not be allowed to enter. When they heard his words, they could not react for a while. The service in this restaurant is good, unlike the previous high-end restaurants where the waiter's eyes almost grew on top of his head. If you don't let him in, then so be it. Why do you look down on him and have such a bad attitude? It's also possible that they just opened not long ago and are relying on this to attract customers. After a while, they might become like those high-end restaurants. However, this attitude is really good. I hope they can keep it up. He, doesn't anyone think that this waiter is quite handsome? Can the blogger help me get his contact information? Is it okay to openly climb the wall in front of the blogger? Although I really want to say that, this waiter's looks are really a little too good. I can do it. Elder sister can do it, younger sister can do it too. Me too. In just a short while, Wang Ran had witnessed his good-looking fans climbing the wall in his live broadcast room. The corners of his mouth twitched slightly, and he did not know whether to laugh or cry. Okay, I'll be careful. The waiter seemed to be unaware of the rows of comments on the live broadcast equipment. He still maintained a decent smile on his face and said, "Okay then, please do a full body scan. After the scan, our store manager will give you a physical report and recommended medicinal cuisine. Please inform the customers in advance that our restaurant does not support self-service. Everything will be based on the result given by the store manager." I know about that. Before coming here, Wang Ran had seen the recording of Su Yiyan's live broadcast and knew about it. But knowing was one thing. When he really met him, he couldn't help but sigh. This boss's personality was really strange. Wasn't he afraid that no one would be willing to come? After cooperating with the waiter for a full body scan, Wang Ran was led to a relatively secluded corner of the store. As soon as he entered the shop, he and the viewers in his live stream channel were attracted by the luxurious decorations in the shop. The interior decoration of the restaurant was based on ancient gardens, courtyards, inns, and pavilions. The two-story storefront was connected by a wooden staircase, engraved with many patterns that they had never seen before. The ceiling was completely hollow and carved with all kinds of rare animals, plants, flowers, and birds. Chapter 235. At that time, the restaurant was already full of people. Sitting behind Wang Ran was a pair of grandfather and granddaughter. The grandfather was complaining to his granddaughter that the restaurant didn't allow him to order and sold the food at such an expensive price. His granddaughter should be a viewer of Su Yiyan's live broadcast room. She brought her grandfather here to see if these so-called medicinal cuisines were really good for the human body and if they could help cure her grandfather's rheumatism. "Grandpa, don't be angry. This restaurant is opened by a streamer I like very much. I've tried her dishes on the internet. They are very delicious and have the effect of strengthening the body. Many lucky viewers who were chosen by her in the lucky draw said that it was really effective." The girl saw that her grandfather's expression was still not good. She hurriedly held his hand and said coquettishly, "Let's try it once. If it doesn't taste good, we won't come again. You saw it just now. They could tell that you have old cold leg at the first sight. Maybe it really works." The old man's expression eased a little. He snorted and said, "You're just a child. You only know how to look at this and that on the internet all day long. You could tell that I have old cold leg at the first sight. The scanner in the hospital can also tell the condition with a scan. It can only give some conservative methods. If it's going to relapse, it will still relapse. This kind of trick can only fool a little girl like you who doesn't know anything." The old man's old cold leg was also quite old. It was the root of the disease when he was young. The older he got, the more uncomfortable he felt. Especially on rainy days, he was so upset that he couldn't sleep. The hospital had a way to alleviate it, but unfortunately, it didn't treat the symptoms. It was fine this time, but it would happen again on rainy days. Okay. Just take it that I was cheated. The food in this restaurant isn't that magical, but the taste is definitely good. Let's just take it that we occasionally come out to improve the food. Don't be angry." The old man also knew that his granddaughter was concerned about his health. He snorted and didn't say anything. After about 20 minutes, the two's food arrived. There was hot ginger glutinous rice porridge, fragrant braised eel, and a pot of gastrodia duck soup. As soon as the dishes were opened, the smell drifted uncontrollably in all directions. Wang Ran, who hadn't been served yet, unconsciously swallowed his saliva. Not to mention the grandfather and granddaughter sitting at the table. "See, Grandpa, I didn't lie to you. It really smells good." The old man was obviously tempted by the smell, but he still kept a straight face and said proudly, "It's so expensive, but you can't order it. If the taste is not good, you're not afraid of people smashing the store." The waiter on the side was not annoyed when he heard that. He smiled faintly and said, "There is still a black chicken wine stewing on the stove. The store manager instructed us to pack it for you before the guests leave. After you go back, drink it according to the instructions for a period of time. It will be effective." The girl's eyes lit up and she quickly said, "Thank you, manager. I will make sure my grandpa drinks well." After the waiter finished his task, he left leisurely. The grandfather and grandson pair also couldn't wait to start eating. Coincidentally, Wang Ran's medicinal cuisine arrived at the same time. Different dishes had different tastes, but they were all equally fragrant. Wang Ran was not pretentious. He picked up a piece of potato with his chopsticks and put it into his mouth. Ah, how fragrant. The same thing happened in every corner of the shop. People who were curious or doubtful at first were all satisfied after eating the real thing. Chapter 236. At that time, the restaurant was already full of people. Sitting behind Wang Ran was a pair of grandfather and granddaughter. The grandfather was complaining to his granddaughter that the restaurant didn't allow him to order and sold the food at such an expensive price. His granddaughter should be a viewer of Su Yiyen's live broadcast room. She brought her grandfather here to see if these so-called medicinal cuisines were really good for the human body and if they could help cure her grandfather's rheumatism. "Grandpa, don't be angry. This restaurant is opened by a streamer I like very much. I've tried her dishes on the internet. They are very delicious and have the effect of strengthening the body. Many lucky viewers who were chosen by her in the lucky draw said that it was really effective." The girl saw that her grandfather's expression was still not good. She hurriedly held his hand and said coquettishly, "Let's try it once. If it doesn't taste good, we won't come again. You saw it just now. They could tell that you have old cold leg at the first sight. Maybe it really works." The old man's expression became slightly better. He snorted and said, "You're just a child. You only know how to watch this and that on the internet all day long. They could tell that I have old cold leg at the first sight. The scanner in the hospital can also tell the condition with a scan. It can only give some conservative methods. If it's going to relapse, it will still relapse. This kind of trick can only deceive a little girl like you who doesn't know anything." The old man's old cold leg was also quite old. It was a disease left behind when he was young. The older he got, the more uncomfortable he felt. Especially on rainy days, he was so upset that he couldn't sleep. The hospital had a way to alleviate it, but unfortunately, it didn't treat the symptoms. It was fine this time, but it would happen again on rainy days. Okay. Just take it that I was deceived. The food in this restaurant isn't that magical, but the taste is definitely good. Let's just take it that we occasionally come out to improve the food. Don't be angry." The old man also knew that his granddaughter was concerned about his health. He snorted and didn't say anything. After about 20 minutes, the two's food arrived. There was hot ginger glutinous rice porridge, fragrant braised eel, and a pot of gastrodia duck soup. As soon as they opened the lid, the smell drifted uncontrollably in all directions. Wang Ran, who hadn't been served yet, unconsciously swallowed his saliva. Not to mention the grandfather and granddaughter sitting at the table. "See, Grandpa, I didn't lie to you. It really smells good." The old man was obviously tempted by the smell, but he still kept a straight face and said proudly, "It's so expensive, but you can't order it. If the taste is not good, you're not afraid of people smashing the store." The waiter on the side was not annoyed when he heard that. He smiled faintly and said, "There is still a black chicken wine stewing on the stove. The store manager instructed us to pack it for you before the guests leave. After you go back, drink it according to the instructions for a period of time. It will be effective." The girl's eyes lit up and she quickly said, "Thank you, manager. I will make sure my grandpa drinks well." The waiter left leisurely after completing his task. Grandfather and grandson couldn't wait to start eating. Coincidentally, Wang Ran's medicinal cuisine arrived at the same time. Different dishes had different tastes, but they were all equally fragrant. Wang Ran was not pretentious. He picked up a piece of potato with his chopsticks and put it into his mouth. Ah, how fragrant. The same thing happened in every corner of the shop. People who were curious or doubtful at first were all satisfied after eating the real thing. Chapter 237. Yen Yen, let me introduce you. This is Uncle Fan and Auntie Jiao that I mentioned to you before. Qing Juanhao led them into the house and introduced Su Yiyan to them. Old Fan, sister-in-law, this is my niece. Qing Juanhao had told them that his niece was young, but when they saw Su Yiyan, they still felt that the person in front of them was different from what they had imagined. Su Yiyan knew what they were thinking when she saw their eyes, but she didn't care. She smiled and said, "Hello, Uncle and Auntie. You're my uncle's friends. If you don't mind, you can call me Yen Yen." Okay. Su Yiyan took the initiative to speak, and it made the two of them relax a little. They deliberated and said, "I heard from your uncle that Shueru was able to get pregnant thanks to you. We're here today to ask if the two of us can also. I know. Uncle mentioned it to me before. There are many reasons why people can't get pregnant. I can't be sure if it can be cured before I see the person. Then now, sit down first." Su Yiyan gestured for them to sit down, then said to Fan Weiming, "Uncle Fan, let me take your hand." Hand? Qing Juanhao reacted quickly and hurriedly said, "Give her your hand." Previously, Yen Yen had pinched Shueru's pulse and knew that she was pregnant. Fan Weiming and his wife were stunned. They looked at each other and reached out their hands subconsciously. Su Yiyan felt his pulse and thought for about 20 seconds. She turned to Gu Jiame and said, "Auntie, come here." Gu Jiame hurriedly reached out her hand and looked at Su Yiyan for a while. She couldn't help but ask, "How is it?" Su Yiyan took back her hand and smiled. "Your situation is different from Uncle and Auntie's. They're mainly my auntie's problem. As for the two of you, it's mainly the man's problem." Fan Weiming was taken aback. He wasn't surprised by Su Yiyan's conclusion. He was surprised that she was able to identify their problem just by feeling their pulse. Was it a coincidence, or did someone tell her in advance? Qing Juanhao could tell what Fan Weiming was thinking at a glance. His face darkened and he was a little unhappy. He had brought them here to see his niece out of kindness, but these two actually suspected that he had ulterior motives. It was really a case of a dog biting Lu Dongbin, not recognizing the kindness of others. Su Yiyan, on the other hand, did not feel anything. She was a newbie who had just stepped into the door of traditional Chinese medicine. It was normal for patients to have doubts. What exactly is the problem? As for you, Uncle Fan, you have hypospermia and no spermatozoa. It's just that you have less sperm and lower sperm activity. It just so happens that Aunt Gu has a cold constitution, so it's not easy for her to get pregnant. It would be a miracle if two people who had problems conceiving a child were to bump into each other and actually give birth to a child. Fan Weiming and his wife's expressions changed slightly. Su Yiyan could see that the man's problem was more serious. They could say that it was Qing Juanhao who told them. After all, the reason why they got together was because they couldn't have children. When they chatted before, they would occasionally talk about each other's conditions and reveal some things. However, they had never talked about their specific conditions. They had only vaguely mentioned it once. It was mainly the man's problem. Chapter 238. It can be cured, but the process is more troublesome and may take a long time. In addition, you are older, so I can't guarantee the final result. When Fan Weiming heard Su Yiyan say that it could be cured, he became more excited. It doesn't matter. As long as it can be cured, no matter how troublesome it is, we are willing to cooperate. As long as it works, even if it is only 1 in 10,000, we want to try. Gu Jiame also echoed, "Yes, as long as there is hope, we will absolutely cooperate unconditionally." These people gathered together because they were in the same boat. Secondly, their family backgrounds were similar, and their temperament and character were relatively good. They had deep feelings for each other. Even if they did not have children, they were not willing to separate and have a child with another man or woman. But it was precisely because of their deep feelings that they wanted to have a bloodline that belonged to each other. For so many years, watching their relatives, friends, and even their juniors have lovely children one after another, the two of them were envious and sad. They thought that it might be like this for the rest of their lives. Who would have thought that there would be a sudden turn for the better? How could they not be excited? Well, since you all said so, then I will treat you with ease. Aunt Goo's side is relatively simple. The main problem is that her womb is cold. She needs to eat more medicated diet to nourish her body. Otherwise, even if she is pregnant in the future, it is easy to have a miscarriage or a miscarriage. Gu Jiamei's face turned pale when she heard this, and she subconsciously held her husband's hand. Her husband held her hand back and patted the back of her hand to comfort her. As for Uncle Fan, medicated diet alone is not enough. It has to be combined with acupuncture. Acupuncture? Su Yiyan smiled slightly and calmly took out the acupuncture bag that he carried with him. When they saw it, their faces changed on the spot. Gu Jiamei's face was even paler, and she asked with difficulty, such a long needle, is it going to be inserted into old Fan's body? It is going to be inserted into his body, but don't be nervous. This needle is inserted into the human body's acupuncture points. My hands are steady, so it won't cause harm to Uncle Fan's body. Su Yiyan did not dare to say this half a month ago. Recently, he had inserted more needles into Ning Qirui's body, so he felt that his hands were much steadier and more confident. Young Master Ning, who had been pricked several times in just half a month. Can you not speak so righteously about using me as a test subject? But Gu Jiamei was still worried. She wanted to say something, but her husband stopped her. Since Yan Yan said so, he must be confident. Let's give it a try and trust her. Gu Jiamei opened her mouth but didn't say anything in the end. By the time the two of them finished discussing, Su Yiyan was almost done with her preparations. As the saying goes, unfamiliar the first time, familiar the second time. Today's Su Yiyan was no longer the novice from half a month ago who could stab a needle until it bled. His actions were steady and fast. In the blink of an eye, needles were inserted into the Mingmen, Xinyu, Xinkei, Sanyinjiu, and other acupoints. The two onlookers watched with pale faces. Gu Jiamei, in particular, wanted to say something several times, but she was afraid that her words would disturb Su Yiyan and hurt her husband instead. The complicated acupuncture and moxibustion treatment took about an hour, but in the eyes of the people in the room, it felt like a few years. Chapter 239. Okay, you'll be able to get up after a while. As soon as Su Yiyan said this, Gu Jiamei immediately rushed to her husband and asked anxiously and worriedly, "How are you? Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere?" Fan Weiming's expression was a little subtle. "I don't feel uncomfortable, but I feel a little hot." It's normal to feel hot. By the way, based on your current situation, it will take at least half a year. Drink less during this time. It's best if you don't drink at all. Fan Weiming was slightly startled and hurriedly said, "I haven't drunk in a long time." Although the culinary skills of the people in this era had regressed a lot, the wine culture was unexpectedly passed down. It was still a great weapon when socializing. Fan Weiming loved wine when he was young. In addition, he started from scratch at that time, so he had to drink with his clients at work. When he was older and wanted to have a child, he was told that he suffered from sperm deficiency, which was what Su Yiyan just said. It was not easy to have a child. And a certain factor in this disease was drinking too much. Fan Weiming regretted it and hadn't touched wine since then, until now. Keep it up. In addition, cough cough, you two can't have sex for half a year. Even if you really can't help it, remember to wear condoms. As soon as Su Yiyan said this, both of them blushed. It's only half a year. We're not that impatient. Su Yiyan smiled. Logically speaking, you two are husband and wife. It's natural for you to do this kind of thing. But as half a doctor, I have the obligation to tell you these taboos. As soon as Su Yiyan said this, the two of them blushed again. Qing Juanhao was also a little surprised. He looked at his niece who was smiling innocently and realized for the first time that his well-behaved little girl had such a little devil side. After Su Yiyan finished instructing the two of them, she was just about to put away the things on the table when she looked up and saw Gu Jiamei's slightly pale face. She then looked at her hand that was subconsciously covering her stomach. Su Yian's eyes flashed and she took the initiative to ask, "Aunt Gu, is your stomach hurting?" Gu Jiamei was stunned. She didn't expect Su Yiyan to notice her. After a moment of silence, he said embarrassedly, "It's an old problem. It hurts for a few days every month. It's okay." Su Yiyan's eyes flashed with a hint of understanding. Women with cold wombs would indeed have more severe menstrual cramps than ordinary women. Fan Weiming tightened his grip on his wife's hand, his eyes full of heartache. He knew that his wife would feel unwell for a few days every month. Before he came this time, he was a little hesitant. He wanted to wait for her to feel better before coming. However, Gu Jiamei couldn't wait any longer and insisted on coming over to take a look. "Is sister-in-law having menstrual cramps?" Qing Juanhao frowned as he overheard their conversation. "I remember that Yanyan's restaurant has medicinal cuisine for this." After Fan Weiming and his wife heard his reminder, they suddenly raised their heads to look at Su Yiyan, their eyes filled with anticipation. "We do, but there are too many people in front of us right now, so I'm afraid we can't make it for you right away. Even if we can make it now, it will take at least an hour." The light in Gu Jiamei's eyes gradually dimmed because of Su Yiyan's words. Unexpectedly, she heard Su Yiyan say, "But it's not like there's no other way. If Aunt Gu doesn't mind, I can give you a needle. I promise that it'll take effect immediately." Su Yiyan blinked innocently and shook the long needle in front of her. Chapter 240. Gu Jiamei looked at the needle and refused in her heart. However, her stomach was so uncomfortable that she finally chose to compromise. Really? Really, it doesn't hurt?" Gu Jiamei held her husband's hand tightly and looked nervous. "It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't hurt. If you're afraid, just lean on my shoulder. I'll block it for you. You won't be afraid if you don't look." Fan Weiming said as he reached out to hold his wife's head and pressed her on his shoulder to prevent her from looking down. Su Yiyan looked at them as if they were facing a great enemy. Her heart did not waver, and she even wanted to laugh. To effectively suppress menstrual pain, the Sanninjio acupoint needed to be taken. This acupoint was 3 inches above the tip of the inner ankle and was located at the back of the tibia. Most people needed to use 4 fingers to measure the acupoint, but Su Yiyan could see it at a glance. The moment Gu Jiamei turned her head, she inserted the needle. After the needle was inserted, the strong stimulation twisted for a few seconds, and Gu Jiamei's tense nerves slowly relaxed. "How is it? Do you still feel uncomfortable?" Gu Jiamei subconsciously touched her abdomen. "It seems. It doesn't hurt as much." Su Yiyan inserted the needle twice more. A few minutes later, when the needle was removed, Gu Jiamei's face was not as pale as before. "It really doesn't hurt? It really doesn't hurt." Gu Jiamei looked at Su Yiyan with eager eyes again. Su Yiyan had pricked 2 people before, one was Ning Chirue and the other was Fan Weiming. Both of them were the type of people who needed to lengthen the trench and prick for a few sessions to see the effect. Without accurate instrument detection, no changes could be seen in a short time. Gu Jiamei's ability to cause an immediate effect with just 1 injection was a little tricky, but it was enough to surprise those who were originally skeptical of her. Looking at someone's eager eyes, Su Yiyan touched her nose and smiled faintly. "It's only temporary. You still have to take the medicated diet. I'll give the prescription to the kitchen later. You have to take both of them for a few days to see the effect. Later, I'll adjust the prescription and dose appropriately with acupuncture. I have a lot of things to do here, so you have to pay attention and eat on time." Okay. We'll definitely follow your instructions and cooperate with you wholeheartedly." The way Gu Jiamei looked at Su Yiyan had completely changed. She had a premonition that the person in front of her might really be the turning point for her and her husband. After sending the two of them off, Su Yiyan heaved a sigh of relief. He pulled up the surveillance camera in the store and took a look. After Qing Juanhao brought the two out to order, he turned back and looked at Su Yiyan with sparkling eyes. Seeing him return, Su Yiyan was surprised. "Jojo, why are you back? Don't we need to call Uncle Fan and the others?" "There's no need for that. They're too busy reporting the treatment results to the other patients in our group. They don't have time for me." Su Yiyan was speechless. Feedback on the treatment results? She felt that there would be more and more people who wanted children coming to her in the future. Was she forced to walk the path of giving away children? Qing Juanhao paused and said hesitantly, "Yan Yan, does it really not hurt when you put the needle in?" Su Yiyan looked at him suspiciously. "Why are you asking this?" "I just want to ask. My stomach hasn't been feeling well recently. Can this relieve it?" Su Yiyan was speechless. Seeing that she didn't speak, Qing Juanhao asked tentatively, "Can't I?" "Yes. Then, I'll do it for you right away." Chapter 241. On the first day of the new store's opening, there were many people who came to try out the fresh food, poison testing. There were even more people who came to look for the streamer with the intention of eating. Lan Jiaye was one of them. As the first lucky viewer of Su Yiyan's live stream, he had no doubts about the medicinal cuisine in the restaurant. This time, he came over excitedly. Eating was just a convenience. He wanted to take this opportunity to meet the streamer. However, he was destined to be disappointed. Lan Jiaye didn't hurry to sit down after entering. Instead, he wandered around, trying to find the store manager. The staff in the store had been paying attention to this strange customer who had asked them where the store manager was as soon as he entered the store. Seeing that he didn't sit properly after entering the store and was wandering around, they had already thought that he was here to cause trouble. When he wandered around for the third time, he finally couldn't help but ask, "Sir, are you looking for something? Do you need help?" Lan Jiaye wasn't stupid. How could he not see that these employees were guarding against him? He touched his nose guiltily and said awkwardly, "No. Nothing. I'm just walking around. Okay. Because the store is a little busy right now, there are a lot of people. In order to not affect your dining experience, I hope you can find a place to sit down as soon as possible. Our employees will serve you as soon as possible." Although the employee said this politely, he was implicitly reminding Lan Jiaye to find a place to sit down. If he continued to wander around, they might have to take some measures. Although Lan Jiaye wanted to find someone, he didn't want to have a conflict with the employees in the store. Thinking of the streamer's swift and decisive action of checking your IP address and banning your entire family, Lan Jiaye didn't dare to wander around anymore. He quickly found a place to sit down and was as quiet as a chicken. At this time, the store was already full. The desperate bald and auntie parties took up almost half of the seats in the store. Lan Jiaye searched for a long time before he finally found an empty seat in a small corner near the second floor. "Miss, you see that there are no other seats in the store. Is it convenient for you to set up a table together?" Lan Jiaye felt a little embarrassed after saying this. Why did it sound like he was chatting up a girl? Su Yiyan was bored of being alone in the house, so she came out to take a breather and drink tea. She didn't expect someone to run over to talk to her. She raised her head and looked at Lan Jiaye in confusion. The waiter who came with Lan Jiaye was shocked. "Sir, you, have a seat." Su Yiyan gave the waiter a look and did not reject Lan Jiaye's suggestion to set up a table. The waiter reacted quickly. He coughed lightly and said, "Sir, this is the medicinal cuisine that the manager has ordered for you. Please confirm." Lan Jiaye had almost blind trust in this shop. He confirmed the order without hesitation and paid for it. After sending the waiter away, he started a conversation with Su Yayan as if they were close friends. "Miss, are you also a viewer of the streamer's live streaming room?" Su Yayan raised an eyebrow. "Audience? Aren't you?" Su Yayan shook her head. She was not a spectator, but a streamer. Lan Jiaye looked disappointed. "Then why are you here?" "This shop is newly opened. The decorations are beautiful and the menu is special, so I came in to take a look." "Why? Can't I eat here if I'm not a viewer of your live streaming room?" Chapter 242. Su Yiyen lowered her head and sipped her rose tea. She asked casually, "Why do you think so? Are there a lot of people in your live stream room?" "Yes, of course. You don't know how amazing the streamer, who is also the manager of this shop, is. She is the kindest and most gentle person in the world. She selflessly donated the seeds to the research institute so that they can grow them in large quantities to serve the public. She also often holds lucky draws in her live stream room and gives away her medicinal cuisine to the lucky viewers. She even opened this shop because she considered the difficult illnesses of the viewers in her live stream room." Lan Jiaye almost immediately became a fanboy at the mention of the streamer he admired the most. He immediately praised Su Yiyen for a few minutes. Su Yiyen's expression changed from curiosity to embarrassment. She knew that she wasn't as great as Lan Jiaye made her out to be. Her original intention of starting a live stream was to increase her favorability and to use her skill points to treat Hua Chenhuan's leg. Later, she chose to give the seeds to the research institute for 2 reasons. First, she wanted to seek protection for herself and her family. Second, she felt that it was cute and warm for the viewers to work hard to protect someone they had never met. Later, when she decided to open this shop, it might have been because she and Hua Chenhuan had suffered a lot of malice from this world in her previous life. In this life, when she felt the kindness of others, her heart would unconsciously soften and she would want to do something for them and for herself. Even so, whether it was the seeds or the shop, she was paid for it. She didn't feel that what she did was worthy of gratitude. Lan Jiaye lowered his head to look at the menu on the table. He smiled and said, "I've looked through it carefully. Although the price of the medicinal cuisine here is slightly higher than that of a high-class restaurant, this amount of money is negligible compared to the value of the medicinal cuisine itself. The streamer could have sold it directly to those rich people who are troubled by illness or auctioned it at a high price online. But she didn't do that. She's really a very, very good person." Lan Jiaye was like a true fan who chased after a celebrity. He tried his best to tell everyone he met that his idol was the best in the world. Little did he know that the person sitting in front of him now was his idol. Su Yiyen coughed awkwardly and tried to change the topic. "So, you came here today to have a meal or to look for someone?" "I'm looking for someone and eating while I'm at it. But I've been looking for a long time and I still can't find the streamer. This doesn't make sense." Su Yiyen looked at his sorrowful expression, as if he had missed out on the whole world, and said meaningfully, "How can you be so sure that she will be in the shop today?" Today is the first day of the new store's opening. As the store manager, the streamer will definitely show up. Furthermore. And what? Don't you see the flowers in front of the shop and on the street? Su Yiyen was slightly startled. She did not understand how this had anything to do with those flowers outside. What happened to those flowers? Lan Jiaye looked around. After making sure that no one was paying attention to them, he sneaked up to Su Yiyen and said, "When I came in, I asked the waiter. I heard that the flowers outside were sent by the host's fiancé." Su Yiyen blushed when she heard that. "So what?" "This means that the streamer has a very good relationship with her fiancé. It's very sweet. So she will definitely come today." Chapter 243. Su Yiyen was stunned by Lan Jiaye's twisted brain circuit and his illogical yet righteous intuition. After a while, she laughed and said, "You're in such a hurry to find her. Do you have something to say to her?" Not really. I just want to thank her in person. Thank her? Su Yiyen frowned. Thank her for what? Thank her for giving me the medicinal cuisine and a lot of hawthorn. With these things, my grandmother's appetite improved a lot. Our family is very grateful to her. Hawthorn? You are. Su Yiyen was stunned for a moment, but she quickly remembered who the person in front of her was. She had only given her hawthorn to one person, and that was the person who had asked her for the medicinal cuisine during her first live stream. After that, he had asked for hawthorn from her. So what if I don't like you? Looking at his ID, she had thought that he was a particularly unconventional teenager. She didn't expect him to be so good-looking in person. He was just a little too familiar. Lan Jiaye saw that Su Yiyen was only halfway through her sentence and blinked curiously. What is it? Nothing. Lan Jiaye didn't suspect anything inside. I'm also curious about what she looks like. I want to meet her. Su Yiyen sipped her tea and said calmly, You don't know what she looks like. The host hasn't shown her face during her live stream. Have you ever thought that she doesn't show her face because she doesn't want to be disturbed? She doesn't want people to know what she looks like. Lan Jiaye's expression stiffened, as if he had just thought of this possibility. Su Yiyen drank her tea while watching him scratch his ears and cheeks in confusion. Her eyes were full of smiles. At this moment, Su Yiyen suddenly saw a familiar figure from the corner of her eye and stood up. Lan Jiaye was shocked by her action and looked up at her in confusion. What's wrong? Nothing. Take a seat. I'll leave the meeting first. She didn't wait for Lan Jiaye to react and quickly got up to leave. Why are you here? Su Yiyen looked at Hua Chenhuan, who suddenly appeared at the entrance of the restaurant. She was pleasantly surprised. Hua Chenhuan did not answer. Instead, she asked, Am I not welcome? Of course not. Su Yiyen looked at Hua Chenhuan with some heartache. You don't like to go out, especially to such a lively place. That was in the past. Hua Chenhuan took the initiative to hold Su Yiyen's hand. I didn't like to go out in the past because there was no one to accompany me. I don't like to go to crowded places because I don't like the way people look at me. I feel like I don't fit in with the crowd. Hua Chenhuan paused for a moment, a rare smile appearing on her usually serious face. But now, I have you. You will accompany me. It made me feel like I could also be a part of the fun. Su Yiyen's heart trembled slightly. She subconsciously held Hua Chenhuan's hand and smiled. Yes, I will be with you. I will always be with you. Yes. Let's go in. I'll take you to the private room. Okay. Su Yiyen took Hua Chenhuan to a private room in the restaurant. There were many people in the restaurant at this time, and most of them had already eaten. They didn't care about anything else, so no one noticed what they were doing. A waiter who was relatively free saw another guest enter the restaurant. Moreover, the guest was personally brought in by his boss. It was most likely an important guest. He wanted to go in and help, but Su Yiyen stopped him. Chapter 244. The waiter was slightly startled and left with doubts. You were kicked out? The foreman who was in charge of the outside saw her return and asked with a faint smile. From your tone, you don't seem surprised. Who was that man just now? Why did the little boss have to serve him personally? The foreman smiled and pointed to the flowers outside. Did you see those flowers? Yes, they were delivered early in the morning. There are so many flowers on the whole street. How could I not see them? Do you know who sent them? Didn't the person say that he was the little boss's fiancé? After the little girl finished speaking, she suddenly seemed to think of something and widened her eyes. You mean that man is? The foreman didn't say anything and only gave her a look that said, figure it out yourself. On the other side, Hua Chenhuan saw Su Yiyen drive the waiter away. His eyes flashed and he asked knowingly, You drove the waiter away. Who's going to serve us? Su Yiyen couldn't help laughing. Are you satisfied with me, the store manager, serving you personally? What if I'm not satisfied? How dare he not be satisfied with the store manager's service? Had he been indulged too much recently and wanted to go to heaven? Su Yiyen pretended to be unhappy and snorted. If you're not satisfied, ask the waiter to come back. Su Yiyen stared at the person in front of him with a look that said, if you dare to say yes, I'll go out and find the waiter right now. Hua Chenhuan accurately avoided this question. The customer has been sitting here for a while, but no one has come to ask what he wants. It seems that the service attitude of your store is not very good. Is there anything I can help you with? What do you recommend? Our store is an authentic medicinal cuisine restaurant. The medicinal cuisine in our store has a significant effect on difficult and complicated diseases such as baldness, kidney deficiency, and infertility. Considering your personal situation, I recommend our store's set A for you. First, eat a course of treatment, then change to set B, another course of treatment, then change to set C. Hua Chenhuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Was this girl planning to take advantage of him and make him order all the set meals in their restaurant? After eating these set meals, I guarantee that no matter what illness you have, it will be cured. If you have an illness, it will be cured. If you don't have an illness, it will strengthen your body. There are only benefits and no harm. It's definitely not a loss. After Su Yiyen finished his nonsense, he took a deep breath and smiled at Hua Chenhuan. What do you think, dear guest? From what you said, it seems like you want to develop me into a long-term customer of your shop. I bought so many things from your store. Are there any discounts or benefits? Benefits? Su Yiyen's eyes turned slightly. Of course. What benefits? If the customer spends more than 10,000 yuan in the store manager will be rewarded with a kiss on the cheek. If the customer spends more than 100,000 yuan, the store manager will be rewarded with a kiss on the forehead. If the customer spends more than 1 million yuan, the store manager will be rewarded with a kiss on the lips, and so on. If the customer spends more than 10,000 yuan, the store manager will be rewarded with an IP. It will be effective forever, but no returns or exchanges are accepted. Please be careful when placing your order. Hua Chenhuan never thought that there would be such a benefit. He immediately narrowed his eyes dangerously and said with a chuckle, is this a benefit for all customers who spend more than 10,000 yuan? Chapter 245. Hua Chenhuan looked at Su Yiyen's innocent face and tried hard to promote himself. His eyes darkened slightly, and a fire suddenly rose in his heart, almost igniting his whole body. It sounds good, but such a big business can't be invested just because you want to. Empty promises are useless. You have to give me something practical to make me sure that this is not a losing business. Something practical? Su Yiyen raised her eyebrows slightly, leaned over with a faint smile, and kissed him on the cheek. Are you talking about this? Hua Chenhuan had already prepared himself before she leaned over. He narrowed his eyes and kissed Su Yiyen's lips before she left. Oh. Su Yiyen's eyes narrowed slightly, and a flash of surprise flashed across her eyes. After a short pause, she suddenly struggled. No, oh, it's too much. Hua Chenhuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He really didn't know whether to say that she was too immersed in the role or that she was deliberately disappointing him. It doesn't matter. I'll make it up in a while. I'll make it up to your VVV. IP customers. Su Yiyen wasn't so easily fooled. She simply sat on Hua Chenhuan and said angrily, words are no proof. Our shop doesn't accept the service of getting on the bus first and then buying tickets later. We also don't accept credit. Please pay the membership fee as soon as possible, or else what? Su Yiyen hugged Hua Chenhuan's neck and threatened him. I'll remove you from the list of VVV. IP customers. Hua Chenhuan looked at Su Yiyen with a dangerous gaze. If you remove me, who else do you want to accept as your VVV? IP customers? Su Yiyen didn't panic. She lowered her head and touched Hua Chenhuan's forehead. She looked at him and said, "Leave it empty. It's better to have nothing than to have something substandard." Hua Chenhuan's expression became better. Just as he was about to say something, the door of the private room was suddenly opened. "Yan, I heard from the receptionist that someone," with a bang, the door of the private room slammed into the wall and bounced back a little, revealing the two people who were tightly hugging each other inside the private room. Qing Juanhao stopped abruptly. A few seconds later, he screamed like a groundhog, "What are you doing?" The two of them, who were originally passionate about role-playing and never tired of it, were instantly awakened. Su Yiyen jumped down from Hua Chenhuan's body and said awkwardly, "Uncle, it's not what you think." "If it's not what I think, then what is it?" "How do you know what I'm thinking? How do you know that what you said is what I think it is?" "Wait, what were you guys doing just now?" "Ha ha ha ha." Qing Juanhao was so flustered that he covered his face with his hands. It was as if his carefully raised cabbage had crawled into the pigsty by itself, and he, the vegetable farmer, had no choice but to accept the blow with tears in his eyes. Su Yiyen. "Oh no, another one has gone crazy." "Ahem, uncle, calm down first. It's really not what you think it is. It's just that my hair accidentally got caught on the button on his shirt, and he helped me take it off." As Su Yiyen spoke, she subtly tugged at Hua Chenhuan, asking him to chime in. Hua Chenhuan. She wanted to say something, but stopped. Qing Juanhao had a suspicious look on his face. "Really? More real than a pearl?" Qing Juanhao's expression eased a little, but then he suddenly seemed to realize something. He screamed again, "You're lying. There are no buttons on his shirt today." Su Yiyen. Chapter 246. Hua Chenhuan's clothes were indeed buttonless today. Considering that he had to match it with the scarf that Su Yiyen had given him, Hua Chenhuan did not wear his usual suit today. Instead, he wore a casual pullover. Because of this, he had wanted to say something but stopped himself. He did not know how to cover up his silly wife's lie that was destined to fail. Qing Juanhao had already been provoked by the scene when he barged in. Now that he learned that Su Yiyen had lied to him, he said bitterly, "Yan, you actually lied to your uncle. Just to cover up your relationship with this guy, you even lied to your uncle. You weren't like this before." Qing Juanhao glanced at Hua Chenhuan as he said this. His eyes seemed to say, "It's all your fault. You've led our family's honest, cute, innocent, and kind child astray." Hua Chenhuan, who was staring at the big black pot flying at her, was speechless. "Uncle, you're exaggerating. Chenhuan and I are a couple. We haven't seen each other for so long. Now that we finally see each other, isn't it normal for us to be intimate in the house?" "But uncle, how could you barge in without saying anything? You scared us." Qing Juanhao, who felt that he had been blamed, could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. His face darkened as he said, "Even if you two are a couple, you're not officially married yet. You can't be too intimate." Su Yiyen blushed slightly and giggled. "We'll be married in 2 days. 2 more days won't make a difference." Hua Chenhuan's lips curled up slightly. She was obviously looking forward to the wedding that was soon to come. Qing Juanhao was speechless. Not only did the cabbage that he raised jump into the pigsty, but it also eagerly ran into the pig's mouth. What should he do? How infuriating. "Uncle, you're right. We shouldn't be too intimate before we're married. It's my fault. It's your fault to begin with. Don't think that I can't tell that you're taking advantage of Yan. You're the type of person who wants to pretend to be innocent after taking advantage of others. What's wrong? Now you're saying that you shouldn't be too close to Yan? Is it wrong for you to be close to him?" Hua Chenhuan, who had been ridiculed for no reason, sure enough, no matter how wise and powerful the men of the Cheng and Su families were outside, they were not to be offended. However, when it came to the matters of the women in the family, they were like lit firecrackers. They did not recognize their own family, and whoever got close to them would be unlucky. Uncle, don't talk too much. We really didn't do anything. Qing Juanhao snorted coldly. It's because I came too fast that I didn't make it in time. Su Yiyan. You're right. Not daring to continue on this topic, Su Yiyan hurriedly changed the topic. Uncle, why did you suddenly come to find me? It's nothing. I heard from the receptionist that your friend was here, so I wanted to come and take a look. In the end, I didn't expect to see you as soon as I came in. Luckily I came quickly. Otherwise, in broad daylight, in such a public place, without even locking the door, you dared. There are so many people outside. Qing Juanhao got angrier as he spoke. Su Yiyan didn't think too much of it at first, but the more she listened, the more she felt that something was wrong. Her face flushed red. No, Uncle, you're really thinking too much. We really just wanted to kiss and hug each other. We definitely didn't have such thoughts in broad daylight. Please stop your dangerous thoughts. Chapter 247. Stop. Uncle, let's not talk about this anymore. Su Yiyan looked at Qing Juanhao almost pleadingly, like a soft little kitten, pitifully begging to be let go. Qing Juanhao choked. In the end, he snorted reluctantly and did not continue the topic. Su Yiyan breathed a sigh of relief. She turned to look at Hua Chenhuan and said, Uncle, there are so many customers in front. Don't you need to keep an eye on them? I can take care of them here. Qing Juanhao was so angry that he almost laughed. The anger that he had suppressed with great difficulty rose again. He snorted and said, there are so many people in front. I don't need to keep an eye on them all the time. But you too. Why are you in such a hurry to send me away? What do you want? Su Yiyan looked at her uncle's expression that said, I've already seen through what you want to do. You'd better behave yourselves. The corner of her mouth twitched. She said helplessly, Uncle, you're really thinking too much. I'm just worried that there are too many people in front. Today is the first day of the restaurant's opening. Li Jingwen and the others are inexperienced. If something really happens, they won't be as skillful as you. Qing Juanhao still wanted to say something, but Hua Chenhuan had already grabbed Su Yiyan's hand. She took the initiative to give him a way out and said, It's okay. There are many people in your restaurant. If something really happens and you can't solve it, they will definitely come to you and Uncle to discuss it. It just so happens that this is the first time I'm meeting Uncle. Let's sit down and have a meal together and chat. Qing Juanhao's face darkened. He wanted to say that they were not even married yet, but because Hua Chenhuan had just given him a way out, he could not go too far. He could only reluctantly warn them, just talk. Don't touch me. The two people who were secretly holding hands, as soon as Qing Juanhao sat down, the two of them could not be as lovey-dovey as before. Su Yiyan made a phone call and ordered some medicinal cuisine suitable for Hua Chenhuan's physique. As soon as the food arrived, Su Yiyan did not hesitate to pile a lot of food into Hua Chenhuan's bowl. Seeing this, Qing Juanhao felt sour the whole time. He felt as if he had suddenly become bald, and the top of his head was shining brightly. I was going to ask someone to deliver it to you later, but I didn't expect you to come first. These are all made by my new employees. Try them and see if they're different from mine. Hua Chenhuan nodded and tasted a few mouthfuls. She said honestly, it's not as good as yours. This was a familiar statement. She didn't know if she really felt that way or if Hua Chenhuan's filter was playing tricks on her. The corners of Su Yiyan's lips curled up slightly as he defended the good seedlings of his own family. It's already good that they've done so well in just a few days. If I train them a little more, the shop can be handed over to them a little more in the future. I can also be a little more free. Okay. Qing Juanhao saw that the two of them were talking as if there was no one else around, and he was left out in the cold. His face darkened slightly. Cough, 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 Su Yiyen was slightly startled. This very familiar cough made her quickly realize that she had neglected her uncle. She hurriedly picked up a few dishes for him. Qing Juanhao's expression became better. While eating the dishes that Su Yiyen had picked up for him, he secretly sized up this future junior. He was good-looking, and it could be seen that he really cared about Yan Yan. Yan Yan also had a good impression of him. His family background could be considered to be well-matched with Yan Yan's. It was a pity that his legs. Chapter 248. Qing Juanhao, who realized that he had discovered the truth, looked at Hua Chenhuan with jealousy in his eyes. After hesitating for a moment, he couldn't help but ask, "Is your leg still under treatment?" As soon as Qing Juanhao said that, both of them paused. Su Yiyen looked at Hua Chenhuan nervously, afraid that he would be angry and sad because of her uncle's words. Hua Chenhuan saw her worry and took the initiative to shake her hand under the table. "Not now. The hospital doesn't have any treatment methods for the time being." Qing Juanhao was slightly stunned. Before he could say anything, Su Yiyen said, "It's only temporary." Hua Chenhuan was stunned. He turned his head and met Su Yiyen's determined and serious eyes. "It's only temporary." Hua Chenhuan's heart skipped a beat. He replied in a low voice, "Okay." Qing Juanhao, who was ignored and stuffed with dog food after saying a few words. Well, there was no need to ask. It must be like this. Wasn't he just a bastard? How could his Yan Yan be so loyal to him? The more Qing Juanhao thought about it, the angrier he got. In the end, he turned his anger into appetite and successfully stuffed himself. After that, without needing Su Yiyen to chase him away, Qing Juanhao didn't want to stay and eat dog food. He touched his full stomach and left the small private room as if he was escaping. However, after lunch, Su Yiyen and Hua Chenhuan still had work to do, so they didn't stay in the restaurant for too long. When Su Yiyen sent Hua Chenhuan out, she suddenly handed a bag to him. "Here, this is for you." "What is it?" Hua Chenhuan took the bag and glanced at it. He found that it was actually a scarf. A crooked and strange-looking white knitted scarf. Hua Chenhuan's doubts and astonishment disappeared in a flash. Suddenly, a bold guess appeared in her mind. "Did you knit this yourself?" Su Yiyen lowered her head in embarrassment. "It's a little ugly. Make do with it for now. When I'm more familiar with it, I'll knit a more beautiful one for you." Hua Chenhuan subconsciously tightened her grip on the bag. "No, I like it very much. Can you help me put it on?" Su Yiyen met Hua Chenhuan's gaze. She blushed slightly as she took off the scarf around Hua Chenhuan's neck and put on the one she knitted for him. Hua Chenhuan's previous linen scarf complemented her clothes very well. Now that she had suddenly changed into this one, it was like a handsome man suddenly being put in a gunny sack. If it weren't for Hua Chenhuan's own good looks, he would have turned from a rich man to a rich man in a second. Su Yiyen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She couldn't bear to look at it directly. "Sure enough, it's still too ugly. I'll take it back and knit it again." Hua Chenhuan held Su Yiyen's hand that reached out to grab the scarf. "No, it's very warm. It's very good." Su Yiyen blushed. She was embarrassed that the thing she gave out was too ugly, but she also felt sweet that Hua Chenhuan didn't mind that her hand was too clumsy. Hua Chenhuan stared at Su Yiyen's face, but his hand quietly touched her fingers that were rougher than the last time they met. He said in a hoarse voice, "Why did you suddenly think of knitting a scarf for me?" Su Yiyen withdrew her hand guiltily and didn't dare to look at Hua Chenhuan's eyes. "Last time when we went shopping together, didn't we meet a couple?" At that time, the girl said that she wanted to knit a scarf for her boyfriend. At that time, I was thinking that buying a scarf was not as good as knitting one yourself. You're tuning into the Dreamy Love Stories YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.